one of the things that you're going to want to do quite a lot in this module is you're going to want to log into the Sandbox. Okay, what the Sandbox is it's a virtual computing environment. It's a GitHub Codespace, and it has all the tools already set up in a what we call an interactive development environment, an IDE, and it just has text editing tools, and it highlights specific text in computer code, and it's a very popular one. It's based on Microsoft's Visual Studio Code, VS Code, probably the most popular IDE in the world. Certainly a very, very popular one. And this GitHub Codespaces that the Sandbox is based on is a version of that open source software that Microsoft produced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to access the Sandbox for the first time and repeatedly access it to use for whatever you want. Maybe sometimes you will use it to do experiments with the problem sets. Maybe you will actually do the problem sets in the Sandbox and then copy them over to turn them in the weekly links. Okay, so the way you access it is we're just going to access the schedule link here, and what you can see over here is this problem sets column, and each problem set has got a link that will open a code space just for the problem sets. For the Sandbox, the link will always be right up here, so you can just click on that. So I'm just going to control click that so it opens in a new tab. Now I have already accepted this as an assignment. It's an assignment in double quotes. It's not really an assignment, but the way GitHub Classroom works is that for these virtual environments, we call it an assignment anyway. So you have to accept this assignment. It's not an assignment. You won't get any marks for the Sandbox. What happens once you accept it is that you'll see these two links here. Now this top link you can see is the link to a GitHub repository. This note that the repository is based on SQ4007-2025. That's our class for 2025. And there's an account on GitHub just for our class. Now, you will have all complete read and write access to this repository, but because it lives on the course account, one thing you can't do is delete it once you start it, just so you know that. That's not a big deal. So I'm going to control click on that link and I'm going to open it. We can look at the repository. This is just like any regular repository. We'll come back to that in a little bit. And down here is a link for the GitHub Codespace. Now this Codespace link is how you directly access your Codespace. So I'm going to control click that, go over here. Now it's going to take a few seconds the first time you initialize the Codespace. It's spinning up, we say. What it's doing is it's reading the image, which is a gigantic file that describes the operating system and all the tools that are installed for C, Python, and IPython notebooks. It's setting all that stuff up for you so that it's ready to go. We can see that the starter files have popped up here. We can see that the README is still waiting to display. There it is. We've got a preview of the README. READMEs are written in Markdown, which is a human-friendly text computing language. It's a little bit like HTML, the language that web pages are written in. And when it compiles, it makes it pretty, and you can have embedded links and things like that. So usually for all of these code spaces, there'll be some information and instructions to get you started using that particular code space. This one's no different. Now, you see there's a little test. I had tested this previously. What we're going to do is change this. We're just going to say, yeah, this is also a test. Notice that the file name changes color in the tab. I'm just going to save it. And when I make a change, notice this tab over here, we get the little 1. If I click on this source control tab, this is our link. It's a little pane, a tab to connect us to GitHub, to our repository that lives on GitHub. What we do in this window is we write a little message that we call it a commit message. And it just tells us what code we've changed for a particular time when we update a repository. I'm just going to say hello world for this Git message. And then we can commit and push the message. That makes the little change icon go away. What happens now is we can visit our repository, and I'm just going to control and click refresh. And we can see that the README now says hello world. And this is also a test. Hello world is the text that's updated on the repository website. So this is the website, and this is a virtual instance. So it connects the virtual environment to a permanent place that stores changes that you make. And in that fashion, that's the basic tool we use with GitHub to save our changes. That's everything you need to know about joining the Sandbox and using it for now. And that's all I have to say about that.